Hello, WWE fans, and welcome to the first of my reviews for WrestleMania weekend as we kick off our WrestleMania reviews with the NXT Takeover New Orleans, which took place last night, the big NXT event of the year during the weekend of WrestleMania. Let's see what went down, shall we? So we basically have 6 men competing for this opportunity to become the very first North America champion, which is pretty cool to see. Now, of course, we have Adam Cole taking on EC3, the Venetina Dream, Larry Sullivan, Killer Andrade, and Ricorette. All 6 men battling in a 6-man ladder match to become the first ever NXT North American champion. This is a new title that NXT are providing, and Adam Cole from the Undisputed Era would win the 6-man ladder match to finally become the very first person to hold the North American Championship in NXT. So Adam Cole has now instabled himself in history in this year's NXT Takeover in New Orleans by becoming the first North American champion in NXT. Pretty big stuff, huh? So then we come to the next match, which is obviously the NXT Women's title match, where Sonya Blaze, who is one of Ronda Rousey's 4 horsewomen from UFC, finally taking on Ember Moon again for the NXT Women's title. And, of course, Ember Moon promised to give her a fight in this match. But Sonya Blaze had finally done it, following Ember Moon's amazing recovery during the last match to be able to retain the title. She able to defeat Ember Moon and become the new NXT Women's Champion, as she now represents NXT's women division as the new face of the NXT Women's locker room, which is pretty cool. Now, obviously, with this loss for Ember Moon, this obviously may signalize that we might finally get to see Ember Moon finally become a part of either Raw or SmackDown this week. So I guess we'll have to tune in to see which brand Ember Moon will be a part of, if this is indeed the beginning of Ember Moon's transition from NXT to main roster. And then alongside that, we have the NXT Tag Team Titles match as part of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, as, of course, the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic has trophies on the line, along with the NXT Tag Titles, as there are 3 champions, 3 superstars battling for the gold. We have the Authors of Pain facing off against we have the Undisputed Era, should I say, defending their titles against the Authors of Pain, along with the United Kingdom champion Pete Dunne and his partner Roderick Strong, who have seemed to have bond this team together. Well, that's what we thought, at least, because later on towards the end of the match, we find out that Roderick Strong actually decided he wanted to join the Undisputed Era by screwing Pete Dunne out of their opportunity at the NXT Tag Team titles, making Undisputed Era not only retain the titles, but win the 2018 Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classics, as Undisputed Era would finally hold the trophy, and they are the winners of this year's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which is pretty huge for the current tag champions, not only to retain but also to win the Dusty Rhodes Classic in 2018, which is pretty something. So Roderick Strong finally joining the Undisputed Era. Should be interesting to see what happens here in the next NXT takeovers to come. And then we have our final championship match of the evening, which will be where we have Andrea Alomar taking on Estia Black for the NXT Championship. Now, Andrea Alomar, who had actually appeared in the Royal Rumble this year, we kind of have this assumption that, he's going to be moving to the main roster very soon. So, obviously, that would mean that Estia Black would indeed defeat him to become the new NXT champion. So this now opens up for Andre Alomar to finally join the main roster and finally make a name for himself either on Raw or SmackDown. So it should be very interesting to see which brand he will be chosen for, along with Ember Moon, if these two are indeed making their way to the main roster this week. And then the final match being the Unsainted match, where Johnny Gargano, or Johnny freaking Wrestling, I thought I would have to put it in there, to take on his former friend Tommy Champion, who obviously betrayed him in two separate occasions, or three separate occasions, should I say, has betrayed Johnny Gargano in many ways. He betrayed him after their tag team title loss. He betrayed him after costing him the NXT Championship, and even betrayed him after he took on the former NXT champion, Ensei Andre Alomar, at the previous takeover at the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia during Royal Rumble weekend. So Johnny Gargano would finally defeat Thomas Chamberlain, and has now been reinstated in NXT. So he's finally back in the company of NXT. I guess we'll see how long he's going to be a part of NXT, though, because obviously the question will remain, when will he make his move to the main roster? I guess it won't be too long until that happens, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, it's going to be something. It's going to be something to see what will come out of this, I guess. But yeah, it's going to be a really good. It's certainly going to be an interesting, nevertheless. But I have to say, it has been a very interesting NXT takeover, a pretty cool one as well, as Obviously, Estia Black making a name for himself, finally winning the NXT title, and the fact that Drew McIntyre has revealed is planning to make a return to the ring soon. So, should be interesting to see whether it'll be interesting to see if Drew McIntyre if he is coming back, will he challenge Estia Black for the NXT Championship? I guess we'll find out sooner or later. And also for Johnny Gargano to finally get his job back, it's going to be good for him, because now he's back in NXT, and this is going to it's going to be interesting to see where he goes from here. So yeah, this is pretty cool to say for the least, and I'm looking forward to see what the future holds for NXT. But we all know that tonight is a big night for the main roster, because it's WrestleMania, and obviously we've got Ronda Rousey debuting at WrestleMania. We also have Nia Jax hoping to become the Raw Women's Champion this evening. We also have Asuka hoping to win the SmackDown Women's title from Charlotte. We'll find out who the winner of the first Women's Battle Royal will be, the winner of this year's Andre the Giant. And we'll also find out who will become the new Cruiserweight Champion. And more importantly, the dream matches, including AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura. Will The Undertaker finally answer Cena's call to finally have a match at WrestleMania? Will it take place this year is a good question. Now, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the outcome of tonight's WrestleMania is going to be, and whether we'll have any surprises along the way. So, get ready, my friends. WrestleMania is fastly approaching, and we're in for a roller coaster, my friends. We're in for a roller coaster. So make sure to subscribe and get ready for my review for WrestleMania, as we'll go through the results tomorrow. I'll be looking forward to finding out some information, nevertheless. So yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So yeah, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the review tomorrow as we look at WrestleMania 34, and we also prepare for the night after WrestleMania, which will be on the Tuesday, where I will be covering the review of Monday Night Raw to find out who debuts on Raw from NXT, and whether any surprises are lined up for Monday Night Raw this week that will shake things up for the rest of the year. So see you then.